if you noticed, but there's been a lot of talk about wars recently. But today I'll just be talking about one type of war, and you'll probably guess which war I'm talking about. Here, let me give you a clue. Good enough? Well, if you haven't guessed it, you're probably a dum-dum. It's the Cambodian... Cambodian Incursion. You have no idea what that means, right? Well, according to President Nixon's speech on announcing it, here's that. He said, quote, "Our third choice is to go to the heart of the trouble, and that means cleaning out major North Vietnamese and Viet Cong occupied territories. These sanctuaries would serve as bases for attacks on both Cambodia and American and South Vietnamese forces in South Vietnam. Some of these, incidentally, are as close to Saigon as Baltimore is to Washington. This one, for example, is called the Parrot's Beak. It's only 33 miles from Saigon." Yeah, that wasn't very helpful, wasn't it? According to the dictionary from Google, it says that incursion is an invasion or attack, especially a sudden or brief one. Well, let's talk about the Cambodian incursion today. Dark Shine presents Dark Shine. The Cambodian Incursion. Alright, so what is the Cambodian Incursion? I'll be telling you about these campaigns on this map. I hope it does not break any copyright laws because I got this from Wikipedia anyway, and it had copyright of the US Army, but let's just ignore that because that's not important. Educational purposes, guys, here. Never mind. So anyways, this is what it originally looked like, and here is the attack area. Alright, here you go. So a lot of other channels already discussed the battle plan, so I'm not sure if this will gain any popularity. I need at least 4,000 hours of public watch hours, guys, so let's just hope this works. This is just one of the things that really happened, and here you go. Firstly, okay, let's zoom in here. There is a lot of attacks happening here. Here is the attack base that's mainly happening here. Other people decided to just start going in here, the North Vietnamese in particular instance, and the Viet Cong. I'll explain them in a few moments. And then the Cambodians are like, and they decided to open up their areas for foreign help. Basically, it meant, America, get the heck over here! And then they're like just fighting and stuff, and then eventually America did come. But before that, President Nixon makes a speech. What the heck is taking so long? And announces incursion. And all of this happened on, of course, good old television. Why can it happen so real? Then America finally joins the battle. What took you so long? But then they say that they won't be here for long. This all happened on April 29th of 1970. At least it started then. It ended on July 22nd of 1970. At least it was for the Americans. They started returning on July 29th and then... Hold on, that's not the right date. And then they returned on the 29th. They were completely returned on the 29th. And the Cambodians did ask for help. But the people who were fighting alongside the Americans were actually South Vietnamese, who were actually trying to take Cambodia away from the North Vietnamese, like so. Smack. So what was happening in the meantime? Well, the Soviets and the Chinese, well, don't get along so well and break ties. The Sino-Soviet relationship tie. The Apollo 13. Guys, it's worse. It's worse. We're crash landing. Don't worry, the crew survived. The Beatles apparently broke up. And that's about it. So now let's talk about the fun stuff. Did you just see that? I hope you did not. Alright, now let's talk about the belligerents. Now these are the belligerents. There were the South Vietnamese, the United States, the Weimar Republic, which, by the way, does not look like the flag I drew. That was the old version. And then the guys who were fighting these guys were basically the communists, the North Vietnamese, the Viet Cong, and the Khmer Rouge. So basically, these two were chummies with this guy who was an anti-version of this guy, who were chummies with these guys, and this guy was chummy, I guess, with the South Vietnamese. So that's nice. Now we have the commanders and leaders. So on the South Vietnamese side, we have some corps. There are the second corps by Lu Bong Lan. Alright, let's hear it.
LMNG Lan.
What? So LMNG Min basically did a lot of terrible things. I'll just call it Lu Bong Lan. The third corps was led by, I'm not even gonna use that, Do Cao Tri, I think. And the fourth corps was led by a person named Yu Gyo Van Viet San. I definitely flunked that one. And also another version of it was led by Tran Quang Khoi. Also flunked that one. The American leader was, not surprisingly, Richard Nixon. And one of the generals was Creighton W. Creighton W. Abrams for the who is it again? Khmer Republic. It's the Lon Nol. For the B3 front, I actually have no idea why they call these wacky names. Was led by Pham Hong in the political sense, and was led by Huang Van Sai on the military. By the Viet Cong, right? Yeah, it's the Viet Cong. So those are the commanders and leaders. And now there's tricks. The Vietnamese, well, at least the South Vietnamese had 58,608, while the Americans had 50,659, while the opposing side probably had about 40,000. The last week or two, about 110,000. Alright, so the casualties and losses and the results. Well, there were 638 killed in action, and 3,099 of them were wounded in action. 35 became missing for the South Vietnamese. For the Americans, 338 were killed in action, 1,525 were wounded, and 13 were missing. The U.S. claimed 11,369, and killed in action were 2,328, and they captured, which included civilians according to a CIA official. Well, the U.S. claimed 11,369 killed in action, and 2,328 were captured. So that had up to, at least for the South Vietnamese and the Americans combined, 976 killed in action, 4,534 wounded in action, and a total of 48 missing. Wow, that's high. Enjoyed this video? Please subscribe and click the notification bell. Usually I upload almost every day now.